Hello, dear students. Today I am going to discuss the first year General Foundation course model paper. As GFC is common subject for all vocational courses in intermediate vocational stream. This year also we are having reduced syllabus. Now I will show the model question paper which is set as per COVID rules, as per education norms, as per 70% syllabus model paper has been released. And this model paper is based for the board paper. So from this model paper, you will get the most important questions also. Hello everyone, welcome to INFOKIT. सब्सक्राइब करें इन्फोकिट को नॉलेजेबल वीडियोस देखने के लिए। GFC question paper is divided into two sections, Section A and Section B. In Section A, you have to answer any 10 questions from among the 15 questions. So, dear students, you're having the more options. So, from Section A, you can score maximum of 20 marks. Each question carries 2 marks. Before COVID in Section A, there was no choice. That is, 10 questions used to be given, and students have to answer all questions. You people are lucky enough. You got the reduced syllabus plus more choice. So in section A, you have to answer any 10 questions from the given 15 questions, and each question carries 2 marks. So these are the short question answers. And in section B, long questions are asked. You have to answer any 5 questions, and each question carries 6 marks. In this section, choice is also increased compared to previous years. Before pandemic, only 8 questions used to be there in section B, but now it is increased and 10 questions are asked, and the option is increased this year. Now we'll start the Now, dear students, we'll start the questions and I'll explain the answers also. The first question in section A is define child labor. Child labor means engaging the children in any economic work or domestic work and that deprive children of their childhood. The children who are not going to school are regarded as child labor. Now, dear students, I will explain the model paper. I will start the question and I will explain the answer also along with. The first question in section A is define child labor. Yes, child labor means engaging the children in any economic work or domestic work which deprives the children of their childhood. So, any children who are not going to school is regarded as child labor. Child labor deprive the children of their childhood, their potential, and their dignity. And ultimately, it is harmful for their physical and mental development. Now, dear students, I'll start the questions which are in section E. I will explain the answers also along with. The first question in section A is define child labor. Child labor means engaging the children in any economic or domestic work which deprives the children of their childhood. And children who are not going to school are also regarded as child labor. They are the hidden child labor. Ultimately, child labor affect used to give the harmful effect to the physical and mental development of children. Second question is drug abuse. That is, what is meant by drug abuse? Drug abuse is also called as substance abuse. And drug abuse or substance abuse or chemical abuse means or refers to the use of some chemicals or substances for the purpose of pleasurable effect on brain, but it is featured by a destructive way of using the substances, and ultimately it leads to significant physical and mental problems, and even it leads to social and emotional problems. The third question is what is meant by Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, or we can say Clean India Mission, is a country-wide campaign which is initiated by the government of India on 2nd October, which is the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. On 2nd October 2014, to eliminate the open defecation and improve solid waste management. The next question is what is meant by traffic sense? Yes, dear students, you all better know what is traffic sense. It is the sense of observing the traffic rules, traffic signals, and traffic lights by the riders of vehicles on the road. Okay, simply traffic sense is the ability to drive or walk safely and carefully through traffic. The next question in section A is what is national integration? National integration is the awareness. It is the bond of togetherness and oneness between the people of a country, regardless of their caste, creed, religion, or gender. It is the feeling of oneness, or you can say the brotherhood. It is the feeling of brotherhood and social unity under the communities of a society, of a country. Now we'll proceed to the next question, that is question number 6. And question is define rural poverty. It is from the second unit of the GFC syllabus. Rural poverty refers to the poverty which is found in the rural areas. The people in the rural areas are unable to procure or buy even the basic necessities of life. This is due to both economic and non economic factors like illiteracy, influence of caste and religious customs and beliefs. The next question is write about Asra pension scheme. The state of Telangana initiated many welfare schemes to achieve Bangaru Telangana. Asra pension scheme is one among them. Asra pension scheme is meant for old age people and physically challenged people and widows also. Now we'll proceed to the next question, that is, what is meant by vermicompost? Vermicompost is the decomposition process in which earthworms used to help in the decomposition of the. Now we'll proceed to the next question, that is, what is meant by vermicompost? Vermicompost is the product decomposition process using various worms. Earthworms helps in increasing the fertility of the soil. With the help of these worms, organic waste such as garbage, leaves, cow dung, etc., are converted into a high beneficial and potential manure. Question number 9 of section A is write briefly about Mudra Yojana. Mudra Yojana is a scheme launched by the Prime Minister Modi on 8th April 2015 for the provision of loans up to 10 lakhs to the non-corporate, non-farm, small micro enterprises. Any person who runs small business or enterprise is eligible to apply for Mudra loan. And dear students, Mudra stands for Micro Unit Development and Refinance Agency. Now, the 10th question is from the third chapter. That is, what is meant by entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the setting up of a new business ventures. Simply, undertaking a business enterprise is called as entrepreneurship. The next question, that is question number 11, is what is motivation? Motivation means any idea or emotion that prompts a man to take action. Motivation is used to explain the inner psychological forces which arouse in an individual the desire to take or not to take in a particular way. Actually, motivation is the word which is derived from the Latin word mover, which means to move. The next question is, what is meant by leadership? Leadership is the ability to create rules and to set goals. It is the capacity or ability of an individual to influence and guide the followers. Simply, it is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. Next question is, that is question number 13. What is computer? It is from the fourth chapter, that is computer education. Yes, computer is an electronic device which processes the given data to derive the required and useful information. During the processing, the computer has to perform various functions. The next question, that is question number 14, is write any two input and output devices. Yes, dear students, there are number of input and output devices. For example, input devices like keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, joystick, barcode reader, etc. And you can write any two from among these. And output devices, there are also number of output devices. For example, monitor, printer, speaker, etc. You can write any two from among these. The last question from section A is, what is an internet? So, internet is a global computer network which provides a variety of information and communication facilities. It is a worldwide computer network which transmits a variety of data and media across interconnected devices. Yes, dear students, it is really a network of networks. So, these are the 15 questions from section A of GFC first year model question paper. In this, you have to write any 10. You have to choose or opt any 10 questions from the 15 questions, and each question carries 2 marks, that is 20 marks for 10 questions, 2 marks for each question. Now we will proceed to the section B. In section B, you have to answer any 5 questions, and each question carries 6 marks. You are having the more choices, more option you are having this year. From 10 questions, you have to choose any 5. You have to answer only 5 questions. The first question of section B and the question number 16 of model paper is, explain the causes of child labor. Yes, dear students, in India, poverty and illiteracy of the parents is the main cause, main reason for engaging children in some economic activity. That is the main cause of child labor. And according to UNICEF, urbanization and rapidly changing economic systems have made the matter of child labor more worsened. Inadequate educational inadequate public educational infrastructural facilities is also the added cause of child labor. Discrimination in the education between the boys and girls is also the cause of child labor, which leads the girls engaging in domestic labor. Family problems, economic conditions of the families are also the root cause of child labor. The next question is, write briefly the need of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or Clean India Mission is much needed because it will help in generating employment through tourism and boost India's GDP, that is, gross domestic product. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is very necessary to run continuously in India until and unless it gets its goal. Unhygienic condition is one of the major cause of disease and illness. It is completely necessary to eliminate the open defecation as well as making available toilet facilities to each and everyone. Clean India Mission was necessary to change the insanitary toilets into flushy toilets, to bring about a behavioral change in the people regarding healthy sanitation practices, to generate awareness in public about sanitation and in maintaining public health. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is very much needed. To build separate toilets for boys and girls in all Indian schools is also necessary. This mission is necessary to finish completely the manual scavenging system. It helps to make India a clean and green India. For the 100% collection and scientific processing, disposal, reuse, recycle of municipal solid waste, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is much necessary. Now we will proceed to the next question of section B, that is, what are the measures to maintain traffic sense? As dear students, you better know traffic sense is the ability to drive or walk safely, carefully through traffic. Car drivers, auto drivers, and cab drivers must be educated in traffic rules. Usually, drivers not observing signals, overtaking on the wrong side should be punished severely. Car drivers, two-wheeler riders who are driving in drunken condition, they must be punished and their license should be cancelled. This measure must be taken by the government. By the government. Yes, dear students, roads and pavements should be maintained properly to stop road mishaps. If we have better traffic rules, strict licensing regulations, and better roads with pavements can curb the menace of traffic. And increasingly wealthy middle class and increased job stress people are also contributing to the problem. Relevant authorities should take necessary steps not to increase the number of vehicles, but nowadays it is not possible. Traffic awareness to the public must be imparted through print media and electronic media. The next question is explain different types of rural unemployment. This question also carries 6 marks. So, dear student, you must know the answer. There are different types of rural unemployment. There are seasonal unemployment, disguised unemployment, structural underemployment, structural open unemployment, and technological unemployment. We'll discuss briefly. Okay, first and foremost, we'll discuss the seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is associated with the seasonal operations in agriculture. In a country, people who are engaged in agricultural activities used to be unemployed for 3 to 4 months in a year, and this unemployment is called as seasonal unemployment. Another type of rural unemployment is disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment is when more workers are employed for a work when compared to actually needed worker for that activity. That extra workers are disguised unemployed workers. Okay, dear student, I think you understood better. That is the extra workers who are employed. When they are not employed, also there will be no impact on the output, and that extra workers are regarded as disguised unemployed workers, and that type of unemployment is called as disguised unemployment. Structural underemployment is a next type. Structural underemployment occurs due to the disproportionate growth of population in relation to the capital formation and growth of employment opportunities in non agricultural sectors. The fourth type of rural unemployment is structural open unemployment. It is a situation when a part of the labor force remain unemployed. Such unemployment can be lessened by creating a greater volume of capital. And the last type of unemployment, that is rural unemployment, is technological unemployment. And this type of unemployment arises when new technology, latest technology is introduced, and a part of workers used to be removed from the work, and this section of workers are the sufferer of technological growth. Technology replaced the man labor, and this type of unemployment is called as technological unemployment. So these are the different types of rural unemployment. Now the 20th questions which comes under section B is what is the role of village panchayats in rural development? The central as well as state governments have launched various rural development schemes, and the gram panchayats, which used to play a vital and active role in the formulation and execution of these schemes in rural development. The Gram Sabha meetings have to take place once in 6 months, that is twice in a year, and the identification of the beneficiaries to various schemes like training of rural youth for self-employment and development of women in rural areas, etc., has to take place in these meetings. Since 1989, funds are directly provided to the Gram Panchayats by the governments for formulating and implementing schemes under Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. The village panchayats are entrusted with the responsibility of payment of wages and distribution of food grains to the labor employed for different works taken up under the program. And village panchayats are also responsible in watershed management programs as well as formulation and execution of joint forest management program also. The next question in section B is write briefly about CMEY. Explain briefly about CMEY. Yes, dear student, you have to choose only 5 questions. You have to answer any 5 questions, and each question carries 6 marks. And now I'll discuss the CMEY scheme. Okay, this CMEY means the elaborated form is Chief Minister's Empowerment of Youth Program. This program is introduced for the youth who aged between 18 years to 35 years. As the youth are viewed as potential instruments for social change and economic development of every era. So, the objective of CMEY is to empower and encourage the youth to participate in the development of rural areas by providing them with employment opportunities. A group of 5 to 10 members of youth between the age group of 18 years to 35 years need to form a youth association in this scheme to take up economic activity that suit their educational background, skill, aptitude, local resources and needs. The family income of the members of the youth association should not exceed rupees 11,000 per annum. It is the condition, dear students. Land based, agro based projects are given top priority under the CMEY scheme. Horticulture, horticulture, sericulture, aquaculture, dairy are also the priorities in this scheme. Youth policy of the government is to cover all urban and rural areas in the state by implementing economic support scheme under CMEY program. 22nd question in the model paper is explain the characteristics of an entrepreneur. Yes, dear students, I will discuss some characteristic features that are mental ability, business secrecy, clear objective, human relations, communication ability. These are the very important characteristic you have to write in the answer paper. Okay, first and foremost, an entrepreneur must have creative thinking and must be able to analyze problems and situations. He should be able to anticipate changes when required. Business secrecy should be guarded by the entrepreneur from his competitor. An entrepreneur must have clear objectives regarding the business to be started and to maintain and the business and to take the business to zenith. An entrepreneur have to maintain good relation with his customers as well as with his employees. To maintain good relationship, he should have emotional stability, good personal relations, tactfulness and consideration also. An entrepreneur should have good communication skills, which means both the sender and the receivers should understand each other's message. Clear communication ability, clear message must have to be passed on and understanding must be clear. So communication ability also played a vital role in the maintenance of the business. Now we'll discuss the 23rd question in the model paper, that is why women empowerment is needed. Our question may be asked as write about women empowerment. Women empowerment is one way to get the underprivileged as well as reasonably privileged women to come to realize their worth and potential in the face of male dominated countries of the world. Recognition of the women are equally intelligent, and it is important to realize and understand the women in the modern era are not only equally competent but oftentimes even ahead of man in several socio-economic fields, thus making the presence in the work in front extremely important. Why? Because of the immense talent of women. Women empowerment is essential today because earlier women were not allowed to receive higher education. The society was backward and the times were different. But now the times have changed. Women take up the same responsibilities as men and doing a wonderful job in showcasing their talents. Corruption will be reduced in the society when women are permitted to receive education equally to men. Every individual requires to live an independent life without domination and control. While women empowerment reserves in granting economic independence to women, it also serves in contributing to the economic benefits of the household and the society. In conclusion, I would say the main advantage of women empowerment is that there will be a overall development of the society. The money that women earns not only help them and on their family, by it also help to develop the society as a whole. Now the next question is briefly explain the evolution of computers. Yes, dear student, the evolution of computers started from 16th century and resulted in the form that we see today. Computers can be classified into 5 generations according to the time and period. Just I will call off the time period of the generations. First to fifth generation. First generation computers from 1945 to 1956. Second generation computers from 1956 to 1963. Third generation computers from 1964 to 1971. Fourth generation computers from 1972 to 2010, and the fifth generation computers from 2010 to till now. Now I will briefly discuss the changes from first generation to fifth generation computers. In the first generation computers, vacuum tubes were used for processing. Punched cards were used for storing the information. And in the second generation, transistors are used for processing, and magnetic disks are used for storing the information. In the third generation, integrated circuits are used for processing. ICs are very small in size. Floppies are used for storing the information. And in the fourth generation, microprocessors are IC with VLSI. Very large, that is, very large scale integrated circuits are used for processing. Floppies and CDs are used for storing the information in this generation. And fifth generation computers used optic fiber technology to handle artificial intelligence expert systems. The last question is, explain the block diagram of computer. In this, dear students, you have to draw the block diagram of computer, and explain its parts. And I will explain you in short the main components of computers. Here, computer has mainly three components. They are input devices, output devices, and central processing unit. Input devices, first I will discuss input devices. The information that is given to the computer is input. Okay, the devices that are used for sending inputs are called the input devices. In the short question also, we have already discussed the input devices. They are the keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, joysticks, etc., etc. And output devices. In the output devices, you have to write that the information that is received from the computer is output. The devices that are used for receiving output are called the output devices. And the example of the output devices are monitor, printer, speaker, etc., etc. And third point, you have to write about the CPU, that is central processing unit. And this central processing unit has mainly three components, that is uh, ALU. ALU means arithmetic logical unit. It performs arithmetic calculations and logical calculations. Then CU, which stands for control unit. It performs, it controls actually and coordinate the processing. And next is MU. MU means memory unit. It is responsible for storing the data. Okay. So dear student, this is the model paper of GFC first year, and I think you better understand the concept what I have explained you. And once again I will recall that from section A you have to choose any 10 questions, and each question carries 2 marks. From section A you can maximum score 20 marks. Okay, and from section B you have to choose any 5 questions, and each question carries 6 marks. So from section B you can score maximum of 30 marks. उम्मीद करती हूँ कि आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया होगा। अगर पसंद आए तो लाइक शेयर और कमेंट करें और सब्सक्राइब करें इन्फोकिट चैनल को।